Have you ever felt overwhelmed and in need of quiet time after being at a loud party? Do other people's moods affect your moods?
Yeah.
Maybe you've been told you're too sensitive. You might be an empath.
So you're asking, what is an empath? Dr. Judith Orloff is a psychiatrist and author who specializes in treating sensitive people, empaths. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Full disclosure, I've read a few of your books. I believe I'm an empath, and she took the test, a moderate empath as well.
Moderate
So,
empath.
so let's tell people at home, what is an empath?
All right, I just want to say I'm a psychiatrist and an empath, so I include both the empathic abilities with traditional psychiatry. But an empath is somebody who's really sensitive and loving and open, but they tend to absorb the negative energy of the world into their own bodies, so they become exhausted by it. And so the book is about how not to do that, how to really excel in your sensitivities and be proud of your empath self, and also learn how to protect yourself so you're not exhausted by other people.
Oh, that's great. So how do you actually know if you are an empath?
There's a quiz in the beginning of the book, and it's questions such as, have you been labeled as, quote, overly sensitive all your life, which is often a put down? Do you prefer alone time to replenish yourself rather than crowds? Are you really sensitive to noise, smells, or excessive talking? Because I'm very sensitive to excessive talking.
Yes,
it just drains me.
Or a restaurant that has really loud noise. And I used to think something I was crazy because I'd stimulate myself by getting overbooked and doing too many things. And I'd be exhausted and grumpy. I thought, what's wrong with me? I just had a fun weekend, but I'd be exhausted.
Exactly.
So,
but empaths need to practice self-care.
And how do we do that?
You have to take at least 3 minutes out throughout the day and just center yourself and practice a 3-minute meditation where if you're frazzled and off-center, to just breathe, center, focus on your loving heart or something really beautiful, and just learn to control being so frazzled and just come back to who you are so you could be in your power when you go into events, or whether you need to be centered is very, very critical.
So interesting.
You have such good energy, by the way, because I feel like Ellen and I suddenly are more relaxed just being in your presence. But a lot of people take on people's moods and their anxiousness.
Absolutely. Empaths take on people's moods. If you're around someone who's really positive or heart-centered, you'll soak it up like a sponge. And unfortunately, a lot of empaths hide out, or they're misdiagnosed with agoraphobia or chronic anxiety. And so they need to really be encouraged to practice some of the techniques in the book so that they can excel as an empath.
I've been called antisocial before.
Me too.
Well, I love your book. I'm about 4 chapters in, and it's really fascinating. It does give you a lot of great tips, to how to just center yourself, feel calmer, and not get overstimulated and hence grumpy, right?
Right, and enjoy your life.
Exactly. It's called The Empath Survival Guide. Of course, Dr. Judith Orloff, and you have a private practice, and you're also a UCLA faculty member, so highly regarded, and I'm sure it goes against some of the MD stuff, the Eastern versus Western and energy stuff.
Oh, it adds to the MD stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Exactly. And I think that we want to go see you, and you have a couple events that you have coming up. One is April 11th at Mystic Journey in Venice. It's at 7 p.m. and it's also at April 13th at Romans in Pasadena, also at 7. But we can find that on your website, correct?
Right.
Dr. Judith, drjudithorloff.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
It's an honor to meet you.